A new scandal rocking the Vatican. A senior cleric has been arrested by Italian police investigating allegations of money laundering. Monsignor Nunzio Scarano is accused of trying to transfer $26 million in cash from Switzerland. He had been under investigation by Italian police for a series of suspicious transactions through the bank, while a member of the Italian Secret Services and a financial broker were also arrested in connection with the same case. The arrests come 2 days after the announcement that Pope Francis had set up a commission of inquiry into the Vatican Bank, which has been hit by a number of scandals. Well, to discuss this further and shed some light on how the Vatican Bank operates, I'm joined now by Valero from Catholic Voices. Just explain to us about the Vatican Bank, because of course these kind of scandals have been going on for decades. What is it about this bank that enables this to happen?
Well, actually it's not really a bank, it's more like a fund. It's quite small, it's got 19,000 customers. It's got £7 billion pounds in assets, which is tiny for a financial institution. It has 112 staff, and it makes no loans. It doesn't loan any money to anyone. It takes deposits and it invests them in government and corporate bonds in very safe ways. It has modest profits. The last time was 55 million, which it uses for works of mercy around the world. And the money there is not the Vatican's money, really. I mean, there's some money from the Vatican. Most of the money belongs to religious orders of nuns and monks who are around the world doing these works of charity, and they want to have the money there so that they can access it when they are out in the wild in some remote village. This bank, this facility called the Institute of Religious Works, was started during the Second World War by Pope Pius XII, and then it had to be very hush-hush and behind closed doors. And the problem with it is that it's remained very secretive, all behind closed doors, and it hasn't caught up with how banks are run in the 21st century. That's why the process of reform was already started a year ago by Benedict. In 2012, he brought in Manival. He himself said, look, this facility, this financial facility may not be a bank, but it has to be run like other banks. And all the procedures must be correct. So they brought in Manival, and they did a complete audit of how things were going. And they were happy with the result. They said the Vatican has come a long way in a very short time. There's still some way to go. But, you know, as Catholics, we were very happy that the Pope brought in somebody external to the bank, to the church, to look into this so that it could be completely transparent and accountable, because that's what we want.
But it's this question about the secrecy, and traditionally the Vatican Bank doesn't cooperate with Italian authorities, and it's all because of the independent state of the Vatican City State. Will this latest internal investigation, will it cooperate with Italian police?
Yes, of course. Of course they want to cooperate with Italian police and with European police and all the authorities. Pope Francis, in fact, has named this group of 5 people, which is a bigger thing. I think pundits in the Vatican are looking at this and thinking, this is a big deal. This has not happened before. 5 non-bankers have been appointed as a group and given lots of authority to investigate. Why? Not because of the technical side, not to look at the procedures, which is already being looked at by the technicians, by Manival, by others, but to look at the big picture. You know, is this facility in keeping with the mission of the Church, or is this vulnerable because of the way it's run to fraud, to the kind of action that we've seen from this Monsignor that has been alleged about him? I mean, it's ridiculous. Apparently, he went off and withdrew in cash, €500,000 in cash, and took it in suitcases. I mean, how is that happening? I mean, that's one thing. Does this help the Catholic Church?
Well, that kind of contradicts the whole purpose of what the Church is about. Correct. Anyway. We're talking about, you know, a bank with over $7 billion with it, you know, that it operates with. That, for a church that deals with poverty, that deals with helping people, it's very difficult to comprehend.
$7 billion is a tiny financial facility, but the point of having this money is to help the poor around the world by the religious orders. Now, what Pope Francis wants to know by appointing these 5 people, and it includes 2 Americans, and this means that the Pope is very happy with the pragmatic approach of the Anglo-Saxons. What the Pope wants to know is this facility really serving the mission of the Church to help the poor? is the way that it has been set up or the way it's run, is it helping? And if it's not helping, we must either shut it down or change it. And this is why it's important. And we're looking at this with great hope, because people are brought in from the outside and think, you know, let's make this completely transparent and accountable, and let's find out if this is helping what the Catholic Church wants to do with the poor all around the world.
Okay, Jack Valero from Catholic Voices, thank you very much for speaking to us. Right.